Come check out the trailer. Come on in. We're gonna walk through the trailer, and everybody keeps asking to see it now that we've added the cut hub and we've added some components. So let's kind of go through. We'll start with this wall. This is a new cabinet we added. We added a slide out underneath it to organize a lot of our clamps and stakes and the rods for the cut hub, because this was always an organizational issue for us. We decided to capitalize on this bench space and create. What we've done is we have our cut hub racks. We used a couple pieces of ADA railing and returns so we can nest our saws when we're in transit. They lock in, they're not going anywhere. So here we have what's kind of like a Milwaukee wall, I guess, but we just have everything has now been labeled. We have some cleaning supplies. We have our bits, our drill bits. The radio comes out during the day, so this is easy access without having to unnest it. If you need to grab a screw bit, you can kind of grab whatever you need. We got all our M12 batteries. So obviously we have our primary battery storage up top. We've just added some hilti. So we're kind of working out the details. We got to get some mounts going for all of our hilti batteries. But we have our charging station over here. We have our full battery storage up here. Usually what we like to have is even counts of everything. So if there's a missing slot in the upper storage and there's nothing in the charger, then we know that we're missing a battery at the end of the day. So we have all of our M12 suite. We have our M18 suite. This is all of our secondary. We have our impact sockets, but we also have our stainless bolts and hardware, our sleeve anchors, and small hardware. And then we're going to come over. So here we have, this is one of my favorite. I have a couple favorite drawers, but this is my hammer drawer. Just some goodness in there, some Martinez and Stiletto collection. But we're just going to have, we got our pliers and stuff for spinning our helicals, our mallets. So we have our Sawzall. This is an 18 gauge finish nailer. We got our laser. So what we've done, I mean, this used to be in a giant case, and we've done this to kind of secure everything so it's not getting beat up, but just have easy access to pull it out. And if it starts raining or something, it's covered. Biscuit joiner, disc grinder. One of the things that I really like is when we kind of set all this stuff up, yes, you have to bring a case, grab a case out, but I like being able to just grab the case, have our discs, have our grinder, have the tool, have all the components required, so you don't have to go digging through another drawer looking for discs. Camo lever storage, right? And we have done, I've 3D printed some latches, so that's kind of nice for labeling. And I just single color 3D printed them and then just used a marker. All right, pretty self-explanatory here. We got hammer drill, router, Kreg kit, you know, and this is great. So we do a lot of Kreg jigs with our stair treads and stuff like that, picture frames. So this is kind of the whole component kit. So we have all of our screws, stainless and coated. We have all of our bits, you know, for the big Kregs, regular Kregs, drivers, everything you need in here. You just have to grab a drill and a driver. We have our few different styles of kits. So our screw down, our hand clamp, and then we also have kind of the quick shot where you can just hold it in place and put a pocket screw in. But it's great just being able to just grab this and go. You just got to bring a driver with you. Got to have your snack out. It's a really important component. It kind of moves around during the day. We do have Sawzall blades in here, all that access. Have all our chalks up here. Fasteners, finish nails, stapler. This is a pretty sweet kit right here. We got this, just like showing this stuff off, but just everything you need to staple our low voltage wiring, right? You just grab the kit, it comes out, and it goes back in at the end of the day. Everything's together, nothing getting separated. When it comes to plugging, we try to keep all the colors that we work with in stock. All right, so we got everything in stock. If if we're working Versatex, if we're, we just reordered our Sedona because we're doing a Sedona job now, so we just reordered a couple boxes of those. But if you're plugging, you're just grabbing that box. Tape has always been an issue for tape storage, so we've kind of just created sleeves. Got a couple randoms in here right now, but it's essentially zip and stretch, 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, 10-inch. Glues. We have our Max Power Light compressor here. This is the only compressor we use. We still use a coil gun when we're framing. And here you'll see the concrete nailer for the Max High Pressure. Just a couple of other components and boxes. Back here we kind of just have like our grabos, moving blankets, kind of protection stuff in there. This is our power station. So we have some solar panels on the roof. We have some lithium iron phosphate batteries, a couple 100 amp hours, and an inverter. So we do plug in a shore power when we're on the job, but if we need to pull up somewhere and work for the day, we can still charge batteries. We can still plug in saws to the power. We have 110 plugs in the trailer, and then we kind of have a power station here. This is the charge controller for the solar, and this kind of whole setup, batteries, panels, there's 4 100-watt panels on the roof. With the inverter and the charge controller was like $2,500 from Expert Power. I probably would have went 400 amp hours if I had to do it again. But it's nice. We have we charge a lot of electronics. We run a lot of cameras, batteries, chargers, stuff like that. So we kind of have a station here with just a lot of lightning and mini USBs. Here's kind of our little kitchenette station. We do have the Keurig. We got kind of snacks if somebody needs something to eat or whatever, cups, all that kind of stuff. The microwave. We do have the fridge. Not much in there right now, but we have cold water. And then this is kind of most of our camera gear. We have some other cases that are out right now, but we'll snap up the drone here, the gimbal, the full frame camera, all that kind of stuff. Microphones. All our helical stuff is in here, and all of our straps and gloves and stuff are in here. Got a metal saw, and then we just have kind of stuff back here. We have like hydraulic fluids, you know, ethanol-free gas, bar oil, all of our jacks and extra couplings and stuff for the helical driver, which will bring us over into, and of course, our Diamondback Tempo belt. All right, drawers. This can be one of those things that's really easy to get disorganized. So I find that the more segregated we have everything, the easier it is. Originally, when I started building out these drawers, I did it in Kaizen foam, which is really nice because everything has a place and it fits really good. But when you add another set of vice grips, you'd have to rebuild the whole thing. So it does have its drawbacks. You really got to be prepared to be like full when you build it out. But we just have blades down here, blades and bits, all right? And that's all of our saws, tape measures, chalk lines. Yes, Tajima, thank you for your sponsorship. Love these guys at Tajima. They make the best chalk line in the world. Squares. Our friends over at Squidjig, and of course Mark Martinez. We got plenty of squares, staplers. This is an electrical drawer and blades, kind of a dual purpose because I don't have enough to fill each one. But we have all of our kind of staples, zip ties, wire nuts and splitters, and then all of our blades. Come in here, we got our screwdriver drawer and pliers, kind of stuff that's in the Kaizen foam. There's our wrench drawer. This is the Kevi No-No, all right? This is the Kevi No-No drawer. And if you scan this QR code, it's going to bring you to the Red Cross first aid page, so you can start issuing first aid if you go in my drawer. This is my drawer. Do not go in my drawer. No, I'm just kidding. So we got just my little laser and digital levels, my picas, all my lead collection, knives and jigs, just all my little trinkets and stuff I keep in there. And then we got all of our snips, linesman, pliers, T-handle Allen wrenches and other hex. And then this is kind of like got chisels in here, our chainsaw tools, and a couple of kind of random. Then I really like this stuff. Like when we're doing low volt, we're running lighting. This is what comes out, and this has all of our extra components for the low voltage. So you're gonna find like if we, you know, are missing a connector or something, if we need clips, if we need to do a line splice, you know, wire nuts, tape, all that kind of stuff, little extra components and stuff that we have. So it's good like to keep all that stuff together and really out of the way, because we might pull this out a couple of times a month, but it just keeps it out of the way. Track storage. So when it comes to the track saws, these are really like, these are made by Fast Cap, and they're super nice, they're super easy. And they just hold everything. All these tracks, you can actually put them upright on the wall and they will hold them in place. But they go really great on the ceiling. We have some kind of small hardware. We don't use the door. We have it bolted shut. Just because it's given me some more wall space to organize, because we're obviously not really flush on space in here. So we've capitalized on this area to kind of do some storage of our tubes, of our paint, stuff like that. This electric heater we actually don't use anymore. This was our original heat source when we were just trying to keep the trailer over freezing temperature, but we've developed a new system. We do have our dust attractor in here right now, but that guy lives in here. That's bolted down and it kind of just like clips in. Pretty nice storage for the Sasquatch beam saw. We've developed a lot of Diamondback bags. We're kind of running out of hook space there. That's why I got kicked out. I got to go over there now. This is our new heating source. So this is a super efficient diesel heater that is exhausted out of the trailer, has also a fresh air intake coming in. And this little guy will keep this trailer 60 degrees in the dead of winter for about 5 to 7 gallons of diesel a week for 7 days. It's about a gallon a day to keep this trailer up to temperature. And it really is, this thing kicks, man. This is the coolest thing. This is a gvwr, but I actually found, I was told about them. Somebody tipped me off, and then I found there was a Facebook page that had like, there's like a whole fan base of these heaters and guys that do, I mean, I've seen guys do Milwaukee pack out conversions where they installed the heater in it. Really cool. But cheap, easy. It's got a little digital thermostat and it just runs, man. It's great. We put a filler neck on the outside of the trailer and just ran it to a fuel can with a vent. And we just, so we can fill up on the outside of the trailer. It works really well. So here we're obviously a little overloaded right now because we've added some tools. None of the Hilti had a place. They've graced us with some nice new tools. So we have to restructure our tool storage a little bit, maybe pull a couple things out. But we have kind of a mixed breed, mixed gang of Milwaukee, Makita, and Hilti. Still doing some testing on the Hilti stuff, but I'll say, like, everybody always asks why the red and blue, why the red and blue. I love our Milwaukee tools. We have a lot of tools that I really like. I prefer the drivers all day over Makita. I don't care what anyone says. But this 7 1/4 saw up until today has been the nicest rear handle saw I've ever put my hands on. It's a 40 volt. The Sawzall will kick the crap out of any of the other Sawzalls on the market. And we're not Power Rangers, we're carpenters. So I'm going to use the best tools possible. I don't really care what color they are. I don't want to have 7 battery platforms. So I'm, you know, like I know Metabo or Metabo, they make a really nice rear handle saw, but like I'm just not willing to just keep adding battery platforms for single tools. It has to serve more purpose than one tool for me. Obviously, we have a lot of camo up here. So, you know, we use camo for our clips. We've been using them for years. It's a whole installation system. We also use all their structural screws now, framing screws. So we have organization of that. We also do have like cordless nail guns. The Milwaukees, they're heavy, but they're nice if you need to fire a nail in a pinch. But this is really our primary, when we're framing with lumber, this is going to be our primary weapon right here, and that's the Max Power Light. This is an HN90F. It weighs about 6 pounds, and it's a coil framing gun that really, I mean, this gun has probably shot 1,000 coils of nails, runs like a champ every day, never gives up. So we got this new bandsaw we've been testing out. That's really cool. Hilti's new bandsaw. That thing's a beast. All right, and we're going to go to this wall. Now, this trailer is designed specifically so I can back the MT100, which is behind me over here. So that MT100 actually backs into this trailer. We used to put it in forward, and I would nest the driver in the front, but because of weight and what we've added, I've started to back the machine in, but it fits in here. It's a little tight, but I can get it in and back it in. So this is everything's built low profile so I can fit that machine in. But here we have most of our M12 stuff. So oscillating tool, impact driver, ratchet, pin nailer, all that kind of stuff. We actually did just get our hands on this new 12 volt hilti, which I haven't even gotten to try out yet, but I love this because we always have these situations with railing where we have to put that bottom railing run in, and we have to use one of those 90 adapters. So this will be our new tool for that. Super excited about that. Have to foam its pack out. But behind this door, and the idea behind us, when we got the cut hub, I always refrained from getting the cut hub set up because I didn't want to give up the trailer space for it, right? So what we've done is we've engineered a solution where we have this sliding door. We maintain our wall storage, and we've created storage for our cut hub system. So we have 3 stands. We also have room in here for all of our tall bars, which were also an issue. Our demo deck, stripping, all that kind of stuff. And then this locks in place. These are 2 200-pound drawer slides. And they lock open and shut. All right. And I think that leaves this little section. So we had the flaps on the door for the winter time because it keeps the wind out and keeps the heat in when we have the door open, but we've actually removed a section of it for the season. But we do have kind of our little Stabila wall going on, and we have a prototype of the Recon M1. I'm sorry, C1. But this is our little Stabila, and these are also a fast cap product on these Stabila storage mounts. And then we also have the universal stealth mounts going on, but these are really great for the Stabila levels. You also see we're using one on the ceiling in here for this plate level, and it's pretty nice function to get all these big giant tools out of the way. One of the major things we did in here was start hanging stuff on the ceiling, because it was always, for me, it was always brooms, shovels, rakes, all this kind of stuff that you need to have such a sloppy container for to be able to lift everything out and get it out. Like when you do like a corral for it or try to hang them on the wall, they just take up a lot of space. So we picked up a lot of room by utilizing the ceiling for storage, for post hole diggers, for levels, for our camp clip drives and stuff like that. But obviously, we've got a lot in here. And as we add tools, you get to the point where it's like, I don't have a place for this. I really don't. You know, we have to figure out, like, in order to add a tool, we have to restructure. We have to move something else out in order to move something in. So there's always challenges with everything. I don't want to just end up in a couple of years with 40-foot trailers. We're really trying to, I think this is a, this is an 8.5 by 16, and I think it's a perfect size for what we do. It's a 14K weight capacity. So we're still able to get that machine in it and be within spec. And yeah, I mean, let me know if you got any ideas for me, if you have any questions about any part of the build. Everything that is in here that we've built is just 3/4 pine plywood from the box store. It's like $45 a sheet. It's the best deal in the industry for us. It's like sanded on one side. And really, oh, security. People always ask me about security because the thing is when people see videos of the inside of this trailer, they go, oh, well, that's getting robbed. But I'm going to tell you, if I wasn't all over the internet, nobody's going to know what's inside this trailer unless I leave it open facing the public. And at that point, even if this trailer was a complete mess and there was just a bunch of stuff thrown on shelves and nothing was hung up, and just because everything's in plastic packouts doesn't make it any more susceptible to theft. So security is important. We have what I like to call redundant security. First off is a good inventory. We need to know everything that's in the trailer, right? We can keep track of those warranties. We can keep track of tools, purchases, and what we have in here. So if anything ever was to happen, we have a good inventory to provide the insurance company. We've also let the insurance company know what we have in here. We have a value that is more than what my initial policy came with. So we had to update the policy to include everything in this trailer. So if anything was ever to happen, God forbid, that we are covered. And then from there, we have monitored security. We have smoke and fire detectors in here, all right? We also have cameras in here. So I can look inside and on the job. We have security cameras 24 hours a day that are motion activated. We also have a monitored security system. So when the trailer gets open, we input a code. If it doesn't get input, then the alarm goes off. I get a text. If I don't turn it off, they send the police. So it's a little bit of peace of mind. I also like to do proper, good locks on everything. I like to block the trailer with a machine if I can. Like we have a machine on the job right now. So before we roll out of here, we put one behind it and we put one in front of it. So if you're gonna look, that is the best lock you can ever put on the hitch, is a 7,500-pound machine parked in front of it that nobody can turn on. All right. And yeah, other than that, I mean, this is our rig. This is our current updated version of what we're working out of. And we, you know, obviously the roof too, like having a 16-foot trailer really helps with being able to move 24-foot planks. It's really nice instead of trying to stack them on top of a truck. But yeah, all right, we'll probably rebuild this thing 6 times over the next year, and we'll keep uploading videos.